Another episode of Down in 216 hosted by your boy Will here, man. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling today as we get into another interesting video topic? So I wanted to come through and recap. I see a lot of people been doing videos and they've been like updating y'all daily. I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna lie. It's just too much to constantly remind y'all about this. We're gonna just try to do these training camp videos in groups, so it could be a good amount of information. It's kind of hard for just to watch every single day of what happened in each day of training camp. But I'm gonna keep you guys updated and informed. And as we look at the last couple of days, I'm gonna try to put the stats up of what happened in the last couple of days. So Shedeur Sanders right now isn't really getting a lot of reps with the ones, hasn't gotten any reps with the ones yet. Very weird, very weird. We're gonna get into that. Joe Flacco hasn't actually looked the best, but it's like, do you think Joe Flacco is not looking the best because he's 40 years old and he don't really got to look the best in July? Or do you think Joe Flacco is washed now and is he taking a step back? Because he don't look pretty good. I'm thinking he's throwing for like 50%. But from some reports on certain days, he looked like the best quarterback there. So I don't know. It don't look pretty good, to be honest with you guys. It looked like everybody kind of in the same bracket. Not one person stands out more than another. But one thing that do stand out to me is that Shedeur Sanders is the only one not getting the same opportunity as others. So that's the only hope we got. I think Dillon Gabriel is better than Kenny Pickett, though. I will say that. I was pretty hard on Dillon Gabriel. But I would probably be a little bit more excited watching him play football than watching Kenny Pickett. As a fan, the fan in me, I'm not trying to. I'm sorry, Kenny. I can't keep it. I'm gonna just be real with you. I'm not trying to watch Kenny Pickett, man. I'm not trying to pay tickets to go see Kenny Pickett play. But if that's the situation that we in, I guess so be it. But I just hope Kenny can. Like I said, it goes back to the same point with Kenny Pickett. This is gonna be the worst roster he ever played on. This is gonna be the worst receiving core he ever played on. It's gonna be the worst team he ever played on. Why will we expect Kenny Pickett to raise the ceiling of anybody? What was the surface for the Cleveland Browns last season? They were the 28th, if not the 32nd ranked offense in the league. They only won 3 games. And, their defense gave up a whole bunch of yards because their offense literally couldn't stay on the field. So it goes back to the point is, how is Kenny Pickett going to improve that situation? I don't think he's better than Jameis Winston. I don't think he's better than Jameis Winston. So it comes, and this is why I feel like when people hear like Deshaun Watson isn't going to sit out the whole year, it's like, this is the reason why. I don't really see us having a good team necessarily coming into this season. And especially with the way the quarterback room is looking. Nobody's thinking out. Now, Kenny Pickett did show some mobility during training camp is one of the reports that I read. But a lot of those plays he had was sacks. Dillon Gabriel, he had a long ball. I think day 1 or day 2 of training camp. That ball was underthrown. I think I already went over and talked to you guys about that. Shedeur looked like he had the best throw outside of probably Shedeur and Dillon probably had some of the 2 best plays, honestly, from the quarterback position. It's getting to the point where I wouldn't mind just getting rid of Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett. I think we holding on to Joe Flacco because of what he did for us as a backup. You know what I'm saying? But come on, y'all. Like 40-year-old Joe Flacco, can he still do it? Is it crazy to doubt him? So I don't know, man. I think it's gonna be very interesting. I'm at the point where I would rather just go with Dillon or Shedeur and let it be a quarterback thing and see who is the better player and who can raise the floor of this team. Because that's really what it's going to come down to. Who is going to be better than what Jameis Winston did and what Deshaun Watson did last season? We don't got nobody like that. I don't see how we can expect to be anything better than the 32nd ranked team in the league, because that's what we were at last season. I think we got to be realistic with this team and this roster. Another thing I want to get into. It's very weird what's going on with Shedeur Sanders. If you look at it, let's talk about it. We got him throwing a ball to equipment managers, team coaches. It's not even enough people to have a 4-man quarterback race. So somebody is not getting a fair cut, and it looked like it is Shedeur Sanders. So are you gonna cut him, or like what's gonna happen? Did you draft him to cut him? Like, I just feel like it's very strange what's going on. I think the NFL Network is coming in, and ESPN is coming in and watching training camp, and they're all saying the same thing. I think Shedeur Sanders looks like the best quarterback out there. So now it gets to the point where, why do you have him throwing to equipment managers? Why do you got him throwing to Kevin Stefanski? Like, it's too many guys that's not going to be on this team that's getting quality reps right now, because we're doing a 4-man quarterback race. This is only shit, excuse my language, this is only shit that the Browns do. And I cover this team, and I try to be my best, but this is incompetent stuff. Why do we have a 4-man quarterback race? Get rid of somebody. We don't even have enough time or enough players to have a legitimate 4-man quarterback race. Somebody has to go. So make your pick, man. Make your pick. And I find it weird that this team uses Shedeur Sanders for clicks so much. Like, if he's not getting third team, if he gotta beg for second team reps, dog, we gotta stop showing this guy on the Twitter and on the feed every day. Like, you're literally setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up for backlash. You're setting yourself up to disappoint your fans. You're setting yourself up to receive a huge amount of criticism. These people, you guys gotta understand, when you're pushing 12 and Shedeur every damn day with little clips and highlights, but you're really not giving him an opportunity, when Kenny Pickett or Joe Flacco or Dillon Gabriel go out there and let them have a bad game, it's going to be very, very toxic for them. We just had Deshaun Watson get booed off the field for tearing his Achilles. What do you think is going to happen when y'all put up somebody that nobody think is better than the other quarterback that's sitting on the sideline, and he goes out there and he stinks it up in Cleveland? They're going to boo the shit out of him. They're going to boo him out the stadium. Don't let Kenny Pickett come into Cleveland and do some trash. They're going to boo him. They're going to scream 12 the whole game. Why even put a quarterback in that position when you know he's not better than another guy? It don't make sense. None of this makes sense, y'all. So maybe Shedeur is trash and maybe he can't ball, but it don't make sense of why all the NFL players is saying he can. Why all the reporters is saying he can. Why do the stats say that he's outperforming? So something don't line up. And if it comes down to that the Browns or somebody is trying to protect the NFL or whatever, they need to be fired. I'm going to just say it up front. Because this is incompetent shit we doing, man. Like, we over here letting equipment managers run significant routes for a potential starting quarterback. Why? For Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett? We can't let picks over-evaluate talent. We can't do that. Everybody know Kenny Pickett was not ever supposed to be a first-round pick. Everybody knows that. But yeah, we sit over here and let that be like the justifying fact of why you would put Kenny Pickett on your roster. Like, I don't know, man. It's a really silly time to be a Cleveland Browns fan. It's a lot of silly shit going on. And I hope they get it together. But I'm just not a fan of what I'm seeing. You know, it's like they're playing a game. We're promoting this quarterback competition, and it's not a 4-man competition. Like, at all. I'm like, it just don't make sense to me, y'all. It don't make sense. But y'all comment down below how y'all feel about it. Do y'all think this has been a fair competition? What's been fair about it? You know? And how is he not outplaying? This video is sponsored by Detrimental Figures, my brand here. As y'all see some of the quality of my recent work, you get a signature tag on it as well. You know, we make and really emphasize quality over quantity. So, you know, we try to take and make sure we use the best materials to come up with our shirts and the best designs. Make sure y'all following us on Instagram, Detrimental Figures. So y'all can also get the description down below and hit the link for a shirt. Everything I drop is limited edition. So unfortunately, this shirt is sold out. I don't have any more, but I have different things coming up similar to it. So keep in mind, and I'll keep you guys updated with some of my new stuff.
throughout these videos coming
these
up.
guys when he has a better completion percentage and a worse offensive line. So something not adding up, man. Somebody being protected and somebody need to go. So we're going to see how this turn out. I don't like what I'm seeing right now from the Browns. You guys comment down below how y'all feel about it. I ain't trying to be too negative, but this is incompetent stuff. The Eagles, the Steelers, the Ravens, the Patriots, they don't have 4-man quarterback competitions, dog. They don't. And this is the reason why. We got to get better. I don't know how long it's going to take us to get better. But it's your boy Will. I'm out. Peace.